ting me. Oh, yes. Can't... Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's T17 here, and I'm back with another farm. This one is fragment boss rushing tier 17, so you know, we're not breaking the meta with this one. I'm going to be honest. This is what everyone is doing anyway. However, we got our own twist to it. So, without further ado, the Atlas is pretty much our same Atlas we were running before. So we're Scarabs, blue otters. You could pick red otters if you like red otters. It makes really no difference to anything. We're full shrines, which is the actual important part for this. To be honest, you could actually take nothing on this Atlas apart from the shrines for this, because that is all we're going for. You know, if we get a Beyond boss, great. We're obviously getting some Beyond mobs, but apart from that, we're running straight to the boss. So basically nothing in here is particularly valuable. I will link it in the description though, just in case that you do want to run it. So the Scarabs we're going to use is we're going to use 3 domination. So basically we want to hit an acceleration shrine is what we want. But we take all these shrines into the boss with us that we've clicked, which is nice because the boss is rough, like genuinely rough, which also leads us onto this. Because we've invested into these maps, not incredibly invested, but you know, these maps have a cost. So I buy them, they're about 35C at the minute. I actually go and search them at 38C, so I'm not buying against a billion competition. Like, for it's worth it all day long. Genuinely, that is worth it all day long to me. And it's, I can take my time. I'm not messing about. I'm not trying to buy them super quickly while 10 other people join the hideout trying to buy them. And the chances of you getting like landmined with bullshit in there is pretty high. Like, I was buying them earlier and somebody had put, like, they had a whole tab and then they'd randomly have like the odd corrupted one with like obvious brick, like 100% life, minus 20 all res, like all that sort of shit. And I ran them anyway because I'm a fucking Chad, but it's not fun, right? It's just not worth the headache, honestly. I was just putting in 38C. I was jumping into people's hideouts that had like, you know, 2 tabs full of them. It was just heaven after doing the previous. And then our last Scarab is Beyond Scarab of Resurgence, which is a really, really strong Scarab anyway. But I mean, bearing in mind, it's 1C. That's 1C. These are like, they're about 2C if you're to buy them, but they're 1.6 if you buy them in bulk and just put an order on. Which, you know, if you're running 60 in the sale, that is how you would do it, right? But yeah, just to show you the sort of fragment price and the reason this is so good, the main big ticket fragment is the most expensive fragment from any of the 4 maps by quite a stretch. But what actually makes the farm good is that the consolation prize fragment isn't actually worth 1C, which is nice. So essentially, it means you can't really lose. Obviously, you can win really big, but even if you lose really big, you're still paying your ticket costs, right? Which is nice. Whereas if you run the other strategies, that is not the case. They're like 2C each, and you're having the same investment. You've got the same investment. You could run these with Sinister and Dextra, which makes them a lot easier. Like, literally, they have no mods. You have like 30% quant, which the quant does affect the fragments, so I'm told. By the time we're in a map and running these, they're about 150, roughly. Maybe a little bit more in some cases, but I don't corrupt them. If you did want to run with Sinister and Dextra, I did run a couple to test it. Twice I just got these cheap ones, and then one time I got 3 of these. So, you know, evidently you could still get lucky. You could still drop 3 of these with no quant, but it seems rarer, just being honest, from like my very admitted limited testing. But I don't really have much trouble with these. I tend to die to the boss once or twice. It's a rough boss. It's just a rough boss. If you wanted to run Sinister and Dextra, I would drop out the Beyond, and I would drop out one of these. The shrines are the most powerful thing in here, honestly. Also, if you just don't have any interest in the Beyond and changing your atlas and stuff, just run 4 DOMs. It adds a lot of mobs to the map anyway. And bear in mind, these maps do have like quite nice, like more maps or currency, or like they're not bad maps in general. But we're not trying to clear. We're not trying to get the most money possible. We're banging fragments. That's what we're doing, because that is where the money is. Like, it's very unlikely you're going to drop anything in there unless you just luckily drop a divine or something that's going to be anything like that. But even if you do run one with 50% more currency, you're pretty unlikely to get divine still, even if you've full cleared it. So it's just not worth the time. Yeah, divines are cheap. Yeah, divines are really cheap. So, this strategy is pretty good money-wise. And that's not a billion maps either, I've only run, not many. But anyway, I tend to run like 15 like this. Unfortunately, where Ziggurats placed, you can't use certain amounts of this. That is fucking annoying, actually. But it doesn't really matter, because we're not getting that much like random loot. We're just literally banging and going, right? You can quite easily do this just out of your inventory. So I tend to try and pick a direction at random. Usually if there's a shrine, I'll head to that. I like picking these up, to be honest. I'm probably going to sell them now, I've got to be honest. I did like that league mechanic in it originally, but it has got pretty old. But saying that, we're pretty into the league now, aren't we? I'm sure quite a lot of people have dropped off already. I've pretty much got, I've got like Awakened Empowered and stuff, like level 5 Awakened Empowered. I've only really got Awaken Enlightened to get, but I'm actually not going to bother, I don't think, because it would let me run Vitality, which would be nice. But with my fucking Kangled Home build, Impaled Zombie build, but it can't be that bad, right? It's killing tier 17 bosses, but if you're playing something that's actually like properly meta, you should have no worries with this. But yeah, essentially this boss sucks for a number of reasons, right? So firstly, she's gonna essentially put these box wires across everywhere, which apart from a tiny arena in the middle, which basically instant death if you run through them, which sucks. I'm pretty sure this is all chaos damage, but I could be wrong. But you'll see for yourself anyway. I mean, she phases, which is the real reason nobody does this. Like, because the phasing makes it hard, right? Like, if it was A-bomb, the boss would be dead already, because I do good damage. I've got like 18 million DPS. But she's not targetable for a vast majority of this, and there's a lot of bullshit. Like, a lot of bullshit that you can't leech through. It's just degen, random slams, this shit, which turns out into skeletons that run at you, but there's nowhere to go, right? So if you can't leech through it, or you're not just insanely tanky, it's pretty rough. But yeah, you just want to hope you can leech through it at the time when they come out. Not always possible, obviously, but again, like I said, I was upfront about it. Like, you can die on this fight. It's not easy, but I mean, for defense wise, I normally have max res. I'm guessing there's some mod that's stopping me having max res here. Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I am tanky. I like 90 max res, about 45k armor, endurance charges. Like, yeah, I'm pretty good. Enduring Composure is not good on this for whatever reason. It just doesn't stack up. Like, I'm obviously getting clipped by stuff, and it just doesn't stack up that often. It is stacking up now I say that, obviously, but I'm dying straight through all that shit, which is crazy. But yeah, there isn't much that you could do. Like, my life is quite low, I gotta be honest, because, Necros never have high life. 100% spell suppressed as well. There we go. So got 2 small fragments. I mean, if that was one of the other bosses, you would have made basically like 30 EC, right? But because it's this one, we've made our money back off these 2 plus profit, and then that is pure profit, right? Which is the 138 at the minute. If I put that up for 138, it will sell within minutes. So, you know, quite nice. And it takes, what, takes me about 4 minutes. Oh, excuse me, yawn, guys. It's been a long night. But, yeah, we'll go again. Again, if you know this boss and you know I've just explained the strategy, you can just crack on with it, right? You don't need to watch me do it. I like to show people properly and give them the chance to see what actually drops with like no luck involved, just like what actually drops, right? Which always boggles my mind because it's like it's all luck, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like they have a drop table and it's either going to drop it or it isn't. So there's only so much you can do, right? But it's quite quick to find. Basically, just run around it's always on the outside. So you go onto the outer lanes and it's always a split from the outside, and it's going to be on one of the 2 sides or the bottom. So like it's not going to be the one you start on, right? So it's pretty easy to find it. Especially if you get an acceleration shrine or something, you can properly run through quickly. And essentially, I don't click on any shrines or anything that's not directly in my path. Like, it's just about getting here. Jesus Christ, come on. Be targetable. But yeah, every time she is targetable, I'm basically phasing her almost seconds, like. And then when she isn't targetable, it's pretty rough. You just need insane regen, really. I think if you do play permanent minions, one of your spectre choices could be swapped out. I think I would probably swap it for the Perfect Warlord. It's when you have aggressive minions, he tends to be quite shit because he's obviously just fucks off and he's nowhere near you, so you don't get the vitality and you don't get the endurance charges. Obviously I am stacking endurance charges here, but the vitality would be nice. And it just, you know, you definitely get the endurance charges, right? So. Oh, by the way, this still slaps you after she's dead. Fuck knows what with. But yeah, there's a reason nobody wants to do this. It's because it sucks ass. But that said, some of these mods are nastier than others, right? So you kind of learn what, like, it's a bit of a trial and error process of learning. Like, you're going to have to just try to run stuff and just see what is super shit for you. But, you know, you could honestly play this, like, you could play this and still make good profit running the Sinistral Dextral, right? Oh, I gotta check. Could have been Mage Blood. I was going to say it never is, but I have actually naturally dropped a Mage Blood once. So, you know, the one time I checked it was worth checking, so I'm just going to check them forever now. But yeah, anyway, we're going to, as you can see, we basically phase her within like 2-3 seconds, right? And not that anyone's interested, the way my build works is I need pride stacks to it, which is 4 seconds to get the maximum damage out of it, and then we're impale as well, so we need 5 stacks to impale to get the ball rolling. So we got plenty of damage to do a fight like this. Like, if it was at that point with max pride and full impale stacks, I mean, that's getting absolutely fucking deleted. If it was A-bomb or whatever, like, the fight would be over in under 10 seconds. But unfortunately, this phases, which is why no one wants to do it. Because no one wants to do it and everyone wants the fragments. It's a good way to make money if you can put up with this bullshit. I gotta be honest. But you don't need crazy damage for this. Genuinely, you don't. I mean, obviously, it's an endgame farm, right? You need some level of damage, otherwise it's just going to be awful. Depending on what you roll as well, like if you get locked into some sort of resistance on the boss or 100% life or something, you get landmined with some shit map. It's not always a negative though, honestly. While it does sound bad, it's probably going to be a very high quant map. So if you can still run it, I would say the only like true brick is probably going to be, well, something you can't run like Fizz Reflect or something for me. But the other thing that's really crap is like minus res, like minus 20 res or something. That's just so brutal. I'm sure there's builds that can handle that, but I fuck knows how. Honestly, you'd need some incredible damage transference, or to be honest, if you were CI this fight, it might be quite easy. If it is all chaos damage, I'm not sure that it is, but it looks like it is, right? Like it's all green and whatever. If you CI, this fight might be a joke. Maybe I should go CI. But I would double check that, because I'm just guessing. Like, green shit is normally chaos, right? So. But anyway, so our whole strategy, we're hugging the outside, we are picking up stuff that's directly in our way. I would say that's probably where we want to be. It looks good, doesn't it? There we go. Oh, fucking big items, let's go. It's kind of weird that what side it on changes the angle of the arena, to be fair, but whatever. It's kind of cool in a way. But yeah, there's nothing particularly exciting about this fight. It's just tedious, genuinely. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird league, this. The div price is super low, which is good, but it's quite hard to make the money. Like, there's a lot of people that are whinging about no grind loot, etc. Which, I mean, there hasn't been any grind loot in this game forever. Like, literally the past like multiple leagues, no grind loot at all. Mirage, there still wasn't grind loot in Mirage, even though people love to say there is. There wasn't. It was just super buffed mechanics, right? So if you just did the Mirage Dome, there was a good chance you'd get some stuff. But the actual big ticket stuff was from Beyond or some mechanic, like people were doing Abyss, people were doing, well, people were doing Breach mainly. But, you know, the loot wasn't from ground loot, it was from mechanics, which is the same way it's been for a long time. But it was just turbocharged, right? Same with Affliction, really. Like, it wasn't, the grind loot wasn't from the mobs, it was from the Affliction buffs. If you go in Wildwood, spam the crap, like with the buff to Wildwood now, if you go and do maps, if you get a good Wildwood, you're getting like 4k goo on everything, which is wild. But even that's not dropping a crazy amount, honestly. This is frustrating. This is where you get, basically you get into this doom loop of where you literally can't get back into the fucking arena because it's just AoE bullshit everywhere. But yeah, that's why you use the 50-50 Scarab, because of that shit. And it wasn't even worth it. Well, I mean, we made our money back and some, but it's still not really worth it. I tend to find that the really awful ones like aren't particularly great, and then the ones that are a breeze tend to drop like 3 banging Scarabs, right? 3 banging fragments, but you can't pick them, so. But overall, this is a really, really high return farm, which is all I ever do these days, to be honest. Like, I'll try a farm, and if it's crap, I just don't do it. Like, I'm not. I think it's a bit tricky to be a content creator because, you know, people always want like something for nothing, basically, and they're like, unless it's literally raining divines. Or they'll watch a strategy where it's raining divines and they're just like, oh my god, I want to do that, I must do that. But they don't understand that, like, that strategy, when it's explained to you, has like fucking 10 div of Scarabs in it. Like, this costs like 45c. And it's dropping like averagely about a divine a map, roughly. Or well, 2/3 of divine a map, 4 minutes. I mean, is it pretty good? But apparently these fragments are on the up and up, so it might honestly be worth hanging on to them. And if you don't need the money yet, you save them for some big ticket thing. Hanging on to them a bit because they might go up. I mean, the div price is staying the same, right? So generally, if the div price stays the same, things like this map are gonna, like the nightmare maps, are gonna stay about the same. They've honestly been about the same price for the last week, roughly. So I was selling them, so I do know that. But this feels like it's going to be a juicy one. It's too easy. I say I'm going to get my ass cheeks clapped in a second, but I feel like this must be chaos damage, right? Oh, there we go. That was honestly, that was deserved. But yeah, unfortunately, my build has like 0 visual clarity, which sucks. Oh, I was right at the fucking cull as well. That's just, is what it is. Come on, ting me. Let's fucking go. Oh, love it. Anyway, as fun as this has been, I'm sure you really desperately want to watch me nightmare boss rushing, but you know, you can see the results for yourself.